My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. You can find me in my blog at stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we are celebrating the new catalog, which is very exciting. This is the catalog, so let me just go over that first. Today, Stampin' Up! Launched a new catalog, January to June 2022, and just to celebrate the launch of the new catalog and Sale-a-Bration, I wanted to do a free online class, a free format where anybody could watch, and if you want to make these cards at home, that's totally fine. But I am going to have an ordering special. It's going to be for 1 week, where if you spend $50 with me in the online store and my new host code, which I will link as soon as my live is over, then you will actually get the card kits that I make on the live today. So, I'm going to be posting the replay on YouTube as well. And I wanted to give the people who can't be here live, that are going to be on YouTube, a chance to order as well. So the other thing that we have going on today is Sale-a-Bration. So in addition to being able to get the card kits, if you spend $50 with me before tax in the online store, you can actually qualify for Sale-a-Bration rewards too. So if you're spending $50 or more with me, you're going to automatically qualify for Sale-a-Bration rewards, which means when you go to checkout in the online store, you would either enter the host code or you can click the link where I already have the host code embedded. If you're on my email list, I've already sent that link out, but I'll get the link out everywhere else after the class. But they'll ask you what Sale-a-Bration rewards you would like to choose when you go to checkout. So the Sale-a-Bration rewards and your products from Stampin' Up! Will come from Stampin' Up! And these card kits will come from me. I was thinking about doing a catalog walkthrough, and then I thought, let me try a class, because normally, in a different time, we would all be able to get together in a room and do this. But one of the beauties of being online and doing these online classes is that I can reach out to anybody in the United States. And this is for the US only, of course. Demonstrators have to stay within their country when they're selling. Okay, so I chose there. If you go to pages 8 and 9 in the catalog, they have this really cute suite called Sweet Talk. But I actually chose, we are going to be working with this designer series paper, but I chose to work with this bundle today. So there is something called the Love and Happiness Bundle. This is on page 11, and it's all sentiments for the stamps. But they have this really beautiful hybrid folder, embossing folder, and dies. And this is what it looks like. So let me get this out and just kind of go over the products here with you really quickly. So this is the Love and Happiness stamp set. It comes with these dies and also with this embossing folder. And then this heart actually nests inside of here. So you can either have an embossed heart, a whole embossed piece, a die cut heart, or some combination of that. And then in addition to that, they have some nice supporting dies here, whether you want to do sentiments, which will either fit inside both of the hearts or both of our little sentiment die cuts here. And then we also have some floral pieces. So just wanted to point that out. The reason that I chose this was because of the options that you get. But of course, the card kits that I'm going to be making in the class could also easily be for this bundle or stamp set, just depending on your personal taste and style and what you would want to do. So for Sweet Conversations, you're going to have a combination of the sentiments and then also images. With this one, it really stuck out to me because it's covering so many different bases. We have anniversary, we have wedding, we have engagement, we have Valentine's Day, and we also have love, like the love theme. So it can be, and also for friends. So there's even, that indicator of just a happy Valentine's card to a friend. But they also have, you know, for my husband, for my wife, cutest couple ever. This would fit really nicely inside the smaller heart die right here. So there's a lot that you can do with this. It's going to cover a lot of bases for you throughout the year. So that was the reason why I wanted to choose this one for the class. This was one of the first things that I noticed when I started going through this catalog. But I also wanted to point out they have some really beautiful samples inside the catalog. And I know there's going to be a lot of coverage in terms of everything that's available here, but we're going to focus on love and happiness in this particular class. Hi, Jocelyn. Hi, Karen. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to walk through the cards. And if you guys have any questions, you can let me know. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the Sale-a-Bration brochure too, but let me at least show you what the cards look like. So the way I did this class, I wanted to have 2 simpler cards, just nice and easy. So if you are brand new to either stamping or card making, if you've never made a purchase before, if you've never attended a class before, I wanted to have nice and easy cards in here that you could easily make any occasion. So for this one, I went for the wedding day theme, but of course this could very easily be Valentine or any of the other love sentiments that are out there. And this paper is actually a Sale-a-Bration item, which I'll go into in a moment. But we have our standard card layout here. This one here, I wanted to make it so that it wasn't, I know that traditionally when we make Valentine's cards or cards about love, it tends to be pink or purple or all of that. I wanted to have some of the other colors here so that if you are making a card for a guy and you do want it to be for Valentine's Day, you know, it can still have some of the other color options there. In this case, Granny Apple Green. So we have some of this variety of color. But if you didn't want to make this Valentine's Day, this could very easily be a spring card, but nice and basic, right? So nothing too intimidating with this card. Hi, Susan, how are you doing? So these 2 cards here are the fun folds that I wanted to try today. And we're going to make these together. But we have our like quintessential Valentine card, right? Where we have the red, the white, and the pink, which is where my heart is. I love traditional Valentine's Day. And this is just the cutest paper. But there's even like a gift card holder option here. So you can put like a little love note in here. You could put a little candy in here, like something that's narrow, like a Girardelli chocolate or something. Or you could put money or a gift card or whatever you would like. So this is how it opens. I don't know if you guys can see that okay or not. But how cute is that? So you could put whatever sentiment or note that you want on the inside, and it has this flap here. And it's going to be the same layout for the other one here. I've been on the hunt for different fun folds that aren't too difficult to make. I did make kind of a trickier fun fold in my live on Sunday, but I thought today we'll go a little bit easier. I found this layout from Rhonda Wade. So here's the other one, also a pocket fold. And this again is kind of a little bit different of a color. So this is a So Saffron card base that we have here, but we're still within that love theme. So there are lots of different sentiment options from your stamps that will fit in here, but I just chose to stick with Valentine's Day since we're so close to the holiday, right? I know a lot of people are going to be doing their Valentine's cards and classes this month so that you guys will be ready to go in February. So these are the 4 cards that we're going to make today. And if you guys have any questions, you know, you can let me know. These will all fit inside that standard size envelope that Stampin' Up! Sells. So these all end up being the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 in size. So we have 2 that are vertical and 2 that are horizontal. So we can go ahead and make those. Let me go ahead and walk through the Sale-a-Bration brochure here quickly. And I just want to say, just in case you don't already have your catalogs, if you're a customer with me and you spent with me in the last year, you should have your catalogs. If you don't, reach out to me. If you're new and you're looking for a demonstrator, I would love to work with you. And if you need a catalog or a brochure, just let me know. So here is the Sale-a-Bration brochure. This is good. The catalog is good until June. This is only good through the end of February. So Sale-a-Bration is when you spend a certain amount of money with Stampin' Up, you qualify for rewards. And the way that you know that you qualify is depending on how much you spend, you can choose certain items. So we have either the $50 or the $100 price point for free Sale-a-Bration items. So if you spend $50, you could get the Island Vibes stamp set for free. So that goes on, you know, throughout the catalog, and you'll just look for this little tag here, which will tell you what you need to spend to get this. Really, really cute stuff in here. One of my absolute favorites is the Sunshine and Rainbow 6x6 Designer Series paper, which I just worked with in the live on Sunday. So if you spend $50, you can choose that as your free reward, and look at the options that they have here. Oh my gosh, they just made the cutest things. Now this is paper we're going to be working with today. So this is called Simply Marvelous 6x6 Designer Series paper, free with a $50 purchase. So if you spend $50, you can get this paper, and you can see the variety of colors that you have to work with here. Double-sided and really, really beautiful. Also complimentary to this Designer Series paper that we're going to be working with today. So if you have any questions about that, just let me know. And then in the back here, you can see you can get a paper pack and a stamp set if you spend $100. And there are different options there too. So incredible special moments stamp set here. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Host rewards in here. And then let me go over this quickly too. So for the starter kit promotion, during Sale-a-Bration, you can choose $125 worth of product and only spend $99, free shipping on the kit. But what they're going to do in addition to the typical starter kit special is they're actually going to let you choose any 2 stamp sets for free. So in addition to the $125 worth of product, you get to choose 2 more stamp sets that you love and put those in your starter kit for free. So your whole kit is customizable. You choose the items that you want, but you can choose 2 free stamp sets in addition to that if you are interested in the starter kit. This is a fantastic savings. It's the best deal typically, and it's an even better deal during Sale-a-Bration. So if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask me. If you have a, you know, a shopping list or a wish list, this is a great option to consider. All right, so now that we have covered all of our bases, those are all the things that I wanted you to know. The other thing is, let's start with the simpler cards. How about that? I'll start here, and let me go. I'm going to go get the paper too. So with our papers that we have here, so this is one of the free Designer Series paper packs that you can get as a Sale-a-Bration reward. And one side looks like marble and the other side looks like satin. So really, really beautiful in each of the colors. You can see there, just really pretty. Okay, I was thinking about making another color on the live. I did cut one in purple too. Maybe I could do that. Highland Heather, I should say. So lots to choose from there. And then I'll go over this Designer Series paper. Let me give you the right name. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. So Sweet Talk, the Sweet Talk Designer Series paper. I'm going to grab that quickly. And these are your options with that. Absolutely gorgeous paper. So this is one of the prints that we're going to be using today. We're going to be using both sides. And then here we have this really fun sort of candy print that they have. And then this is the reverse side of what that looks like. This is another pattern we're going to be using today on our card. And then this is what the other side looks like. How fabulous is that? So if you haven't been inspired to make any love theme or Valentine's cards yet, you definitely will be today. So we have this variety here, and we also use this paper, but you can see all of the different colors. So we have Blushing Bride and Real Red, So Saffron. We have other pops in there. the Granny Apple Green, I think that's Pool Party. And then this sheet here. We also have these. So cute. So many of these are great, you know, layering pieces, or, you know, you can change them up as you do your card layouts. So we're going to do our simpler layout first. All right. So here is the finished card. Let's start here. I typically have a monthly card class. I'm going to be doing them again this year. So this free class is a great way to get a feel for what my other classes are like. So I would definitely recommend that you get onto my email list if you are ever interested in new events or classes or anything like that. I have a link on my blog and my Facebook page, but I can also include it in the comments. Okay, so we're going to do simple pieces here. So this is a Blushing Bride card base. Now the reason that these are pre-cut is because whenever you take a card class with me, if I send you the card kits, I actually do the cutting and the scoring. So you would get the pieces, and then you do the stamping or the embossing, and you just glue your pieces together. So it's just a nice convenient way to get some of these card kits already cut for you, and then you go ahead and do the rest. So for the first card, what we're going to do, really simple. So we have our card base, our basic white layer, and this is where we're going to stamp our sentiment. And then we're going to cut a die cut heart right in the center of this paper. So I'm going to get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. And we're going to be doing a combination of die cutting and embossing today. I got glue on one side of my, on the one side of my plate, my embossing or my die cutting plate. So I'm going to be using the reverse side in the class today. I meant to clean that before I went live, but that's okay. So we're going to be using this heart here. And then all we're going to do is place, and let me move this so that you guys can see that okay. I have this kind of playing on my computer too, so I can just make sure that you guys can see this. Okay, so I am just going to lay this down. You can find your happy place with your heart wherever you think is best. And then I'm just going to set this down. We're going to cut. Okay. So I'm just going to glue this down. And before I do that, I'm going to stamp because you never know, just in case. I'm going to use my Blushing Bride ink for this. And I'm going to do the Happy Wedding Day sentiment here. I'm just going to line this up, make sure everything is straight before I glue it down though, because just in case I don't get this straight. Okay. All right. All right, and then that is pretty simple for card number 1. I did do a sentiment on the inside, I believe, so let me just go in and I'll show you which one that is. I'm just going to take my bone folder here and get a nice crisp edge on the card base. Okay, so there we go. And then on the original card, it said, "A wonderful marriage is the collection of many small happy moments." And I just did this also in the Blushing Bride, but a darker color would also be nice, I think. I mean, you can read that clearly, but you know, just in case. Or you could do a white insert, which I often do with my cards. So let me just grab that sentiment here. And we're gonna go ahead and stamp that one more time. Okay. And there we go. All right, so there's card number one. For the second card, I chose a bold, card base. So I actually went with Granny Apple Green. I thought it had like a really nice pop to it with this particular striped pattern paper that they have. So for the pieces for this card, and this was a sort of a happy accident that I had with my original. Let me show you guys. So let me just get my bone folder and we'll get this edge going nice and crisp. Okay, and then here we have our layer. With the original card, on the inside I was gluing and I messed up my glue because I'm having one of those days. But I decided to put just another basic white heart right over it and I thought it looked so cute. We have a blushing bride heart here, we have a real red heart, and then we have our little sentiment piece. So we're just going to adhere these. This layering piece is also 4 by 5 1/4. What I'm gonna do is put my heart to the side, but it could also be really cute in the center here. So if you get, the card kits from me, these pieces will all be pre-cut for you. So you could either do your heart in the center, which would be cute. I'm gonna do mine slightly off to the side, and then we would just layer our smaller heart here. If you do the smaller heart in a lighter color, you could easily change this sentiment out to be Happy Valentine's Day friend, or to the cutest couple ever. I don't think that you're engaged would fit. I think that one would be a little bit too big. Okay, so I did the sentiment for my husband here. So we're gonna do the same. Well, I could do for my wife, but I would probably myself make that with like a purple or a pink or a red base. So I'll just stick to the same stamp. Okay, so I'm gonna put the heart down first, the largest, our blushing bride heart. So if you're watching at home and you have the cardstock and you wanna make this on your own, we have blushing bride in real red. I'm just gonna put this right in the center. And then we're gonna use real red ink. Okay. If you have stamp sets at home that have these smaller sentiments, that would also fit. And I'm just going to go straight down. Okay, close. A little slightly off, but not too bad. So let me just glue this piece down. Let that dry for a second though. I don't want to smear the ink. It dries pretty quick. So for the inside, I'm going to put down my white card base, and of course, this additional heart is not necessary. I was trying to cover up a little boo-boo that I did, but I'm gonna keep the design. So I am gonna put another heart in there because I really liked the way that it looked. I thought it looked really cute. So just set this down. And then we'll do this one. The sentiment that I chose for inside was Happy Anniversary. So Happy Anniversary, my love. We're also gonna do this in real red. Okay, so that's card number 2. So those were our easier cards. So we're gonna do a 4 1/4 by 11 card base. So you can choose whichever color you want. We're gonna reconstruct the traditional Valentine card together. So I'm gonna start with real red, and we're gonna go to 4 1/4 and cut. and it's already cut to 11. So whenever you cut at 4 1/4, you'll actually have 2 card bases just with this one cut. And then we're going to score this in 2 places. So we're going to score this at 2 3/4. If you guys are like me, I need my I need my Post-its or my cheat sheet for my fun folds. I don't quite know them by heart. So we're going to do 2 3 1/4. Now, the one thing I did want to say about this, because this flap is going to fold in, I wanted to have it just slightly under the other. So when I was scoring this, I actually went like right in between the 3 1/4 line and the line prior to it. So just a hair under, and that way it won't be bumping right up against the score line. So it is 2 3/4 pretty much, just a hair lighter. And then we're going to do 5 1/2. So we're going to score it 5 1/2. And you'll see what I mean about that in a moment. When I did it right on the line, or if the line was covered, I just felt like it was harder to close. So when you close it here, it's just a hair under that score line. And I just thought that that was, you know, a little bit more helpful and easier to close. And of course, you can take your bone folder and score this so that you get those really nice crisp edges. But I personally found it easier to fold that way. Okay, so this is going to be the fun fold. And then we're going to do our layering pieces. So for the base here, so for our layering pieces here, we're going to do a piece at 4 by 5 1/4. The way that I chose the combination was we did 2 of this particular pattern on the inside, and then the reverse pattern for the outside. So we'll cut the 4 by 5 1/4 strip first. So let me go to 5 1/4. And then 4. Okay. So we have this piece right here. And then we're going to do a piece of the basic white in 2 1/2 by 4 inches. Okay. So we'll do 2 1/2. By 4, and this is where you can write your note or add your inside sentiment. Okay, so that will be the inside. And then we need a few more pieces. So these are going to be on the outside. We'll do those in a minute. So we're going to need 2 pieces at 2 1/2 by 4. 2 more designer series paper pieces at 2 1/2 by 4. So let's see, let me cut it to 4 inches and then 2 1/2. Okay, so we're going to have one piece that's going to go here, and then the other piece is going to go right here. All right, so those are the designer series paper pieces that you need. Now we're going to do 2 more pieces for our top piece. So on the original card, that is this top layer here. So I'm going to do real red again. And the size of this one is going to be 2 7/8 by 4 1/4. So we're going to do 2 7/8 by 4 1/4. And then the inside piece, the layering piece, is going to be 2 5/8 by 4. Okay, and let me just hold that up because I know I did that quickly. So 2 5/8 by 4. And then I'm going to cut that. And that was in Blushing Bride. So let me stick with that. Two 5/8 by 4. Okay, so these pieces are going to layer right here, and we're going to have an extra piece of the real red just so that we can cut our heart here. So our heart that's going to be and like lay over the embossed piece. And then we're also going to need a piece of the basic white. 1 inch by 3 1/2 inches is plenty of room to cut the basic white piece. So this one I don't particularly have measured, but let me just measure this heart so that you guys can have an idea for the size. So this heart looks like just about let me see. I'm trying to go from the actual like die cut line. It's just, I want to say 2 3/4 for the heart. So maybe 3 inches, but I'm just going to leave my piece like this. You just want to lay this in your embossing folder until it looks straight and like the whole heart is going to, you know, get your impression here. Okay. So I'm just gonna run this through, and for the embossing folder, especially the 3D embossing folders, all you need are plates 1 and 4. So that's our base. And then I'm gonna put plate number 4, that's our dark gray plate, right over. And let me run that through, I should say. Okay. And here we go. Isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love that impression. Okay, so that's going to layer right there. And then we're going to put our die cut heart, which we're going to bring back our die cutting plates here, or our sandwich. So we're going to need plates 2, 3, and 3. And those are all of the steps that are involved in making this card, with one exception, because this is the one thing I wanted to show you. Whenever I'm doing a fun fold, this is where I tend to trip myself up. And I was like, I needed to make sure that I did this with you live. So on the finished card, you'll see that there is a notch right here. And on this sample, I forgot, but on my other card, I remembered. So let me show you the difference. I know it's very subtle. The person who receives this from you is not going to notice, but if you're a card maker, you might notice. If you cut both your designer series paper layer and your cardstock piece with your die or your punch at the same time, then you won't have this overlap here. So if you can kind of see here where my circle wasn't quite right, it was because I cut them separately. So you're going to get a really nice clean line that meets together if you cut them both at the same time. So cut your designer series paper first. I'm going to use a circle die because they retired our circle punches and I didn't want to use something that not everybody can purchase. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line both of these up together. Okay, so going to go right to the edge. You're going to place your circle die or your punch. If you have a punch, absolutely go ahead and use your punch. I'm doing this because I wanted to use a product that's available for everyone. You can use whatever circle that you have. An inch. This is I want to say an inch and a half circle maybe. So something around that size, something just so that they can slide the gift card out is what I'm trying to say. Does that look center? Are we feeling like that's center? I'm going to go for it. I'm going for it. Okay, here we go. The good news is if you order the card kits, that gets cut for you. So there you go. All right. And then I'll check comments in just a second. I got a little bit intense there. It's all right. We got through it. But anyway, the whole point of that is when you fold that in, it's going to be really nice and a clean cut for you there, which I really like. I usually will edit my replays, especially my flubs. Okay, so we have this piece. We're going to wait to put this sentiment piece on until last, and that's just so that we know that we have everything lined up properly. So for the next piece, you're just going to want to put a little bit of adhesive on either side of your gift card holder. I am going to grab my tear and tape adhesive, and we're just going to put a little bit on either side. You can also use, you know, your tape runner, whatever you prefer. I wouldn't use, well, you know what? I know a lot of people who use multi-purpose glue for everything. So whatever you're most comfortable with. I tend to be a little messy with my glue. I find the Stampin' Seal and the tear and tape to be so much cleaner for me personally. As you guys can see from my plates. All right, and then we're gonna do our layering piece here. And I did choose to match it. Okay, so if you would wanna do the reverse side, of course, that's what that would look like. It would be super cute, but I just wanted to keep the hearts all the way across. So I'm going to glue this down. Let me go ahead to the edges. All right. And the PDF tutorial will be emailed to you. And you guys can, if you have any questions or if you need to email me separately, you can ask me anything or email me if you have any requests. All right, so love that clean line there. And then we have our little pouch. So for the next part here, and I just want to make sure I don't have any glue coming over the edges here. So far so good. We're gonna do our larger piece. So whenever you're doing a fun fold, you just want to be mindful of where you're putting your glue. So we are going to put our designer series paper layer down here. So I'll glue that down, but I just wanted to show you for your placement, you want to make sure that you keep your glue on this side only. If you glue it all the way across the rectangle, it will stick to this side of the card. And of course, we want it to be able to open. So make sure that you're careful with your glue placement. I'm going to do the reverse side of the designer series paper here. Okay. Just trying to be a little careful with that glue. And I'm going to lay this down. And then whenever you're lining up your designer series paper, I want to try to line it up. Even though it's a different pattern, I want to try to keep the lines as close as I can to the piece that's on the inside. And then let's put down this piece. So we're going to stick just to this side with our glue. Kind of half and half basically. Now the good thing about this being slightly larger is that it will easily hide this panel on the inside. I found when they were the same exact size, it was really kind of hard to cover them up. Like you could very easily like get that line up wrong. So I like it being slightly larger. And again, the only reason why I made it larger was because I wanted this whole embossed heart to fit on this piece of Blushing Bride. Okay, so we're gonna layer this right over here. All right, and then our next piece is our heart. So we're gonna put that down. There we go. And I'm gonna hold this for a second because this is going on to, you do want the PDF purchase available separately. Yes, I can absolutely do that, Susan. I can email you after and I will get that set up so that we can do it, that way. It was so funny that it didn't even occur to me to do it that way before I went live, but I'm so glad you asked. Okay. So here we go. And then for our other piece here, our last piece, and let's see if I have the original. Well, this isn't our last piece. We have to put our other card base down, but we're going to do our Valentine greetings. And then this will be our last piece in here. So I'm going to do Real Red. The Valentine greetings, if you guys want to see it in Blushing Bride, let me just show you what that looks like. So here's what it looks like in Blushing Bride versus Real Red. How cute is that? Either one, totally fine. And then here, okay, just got to find my stamp. Here we go. All right, so Valentine greetings is the one that I'm going to choose. And we're just going to go straight down. And I think positioning wise, you guys can see that okay on camera. And I'm just going to go straight down. Oh, I got it nice and straight on the live. So proud. All right, back in business. Okay, I can't get cocky, right? Because I still got a card to go. All right, so we're going to put this one down. Just going to use my glue. You can use your dimensionals or anything like that if you want to. The one thing I do want to tell you is if you do decide to pop something other than a gift card or money, you know, something flat, like if you put some candy in there or something like that, you know, you're going to be paying, well, you might pay extra postage anyway, depending on how you embellish these, but just, I think as it is, we would be okay in the mail. You guys can let me know your opinion on that. If there's something heavier in there, then you're definitely going to want to add an extra stamp or take it to the post office. All right, and then this will be our last piece here. And all I'm going to do, all right, let's put this down. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of lay that down gently and position that. And then we end up with a super cute card. Oh my goodness, I love this card so much. Let's glue some pieces in first. How about that? So I wanted to show you, this is what it would look like if you chose to do the whole purple piece versus the heart piece, okay? So you would just have like a slightly different pop of color there. So let me just kind of do a mock layout for you, just in case, right? You want to choose a piece of designer series paper, if you're cutting these at home, of course, that's going to have pops of purple over here, you know, just so that you can see it, so that it makes sense with the inside layer. And then this will be, look at me, got Post-its everywhere. This would be your outside layer, and of course your heart on top. Let's do that. We'll put the purple side down this time, but just know it's the same piece of designer series paper. So whichever side you wanted to use, you would be good to go. Okay, and then for this card layout, I did the reverse of the first one. So on this one, you can see that the heart is smooth, and over here the heart's embossed, and here all the embossing is on the layer, and here the layer is clean. Okay, so you guys can choose, you know, what option you would like there. It's totally up to you. But for me, I just really wanted to have the variety, you know, if that's what you wanted to do. And if you find it easier to just die cut and not put it in the embossing folder, you don't have to, but you have the options there. All right, so here are the two pieces that you're gonna get. And then this we're gonna put right over the purple layer, right over our Highland Heather layer. All right, and those are our cards. So let me go ahead and give you just kind of a little walkthrough here, just a little look. So these are the two reversible layers. Okay, so the same designer series paper pattern, just the reverse side. So this is what it looks like when it's all hearts. This is what it looks like when you do the combination of the two. Okay, and then this is that absolute classic Valentine's Day card. And here, that's how those open. Of course, if you would want to do that reverse pattern on the inside, that would look just as cute too. Okay, so we have those. We'll just set those to the side. We'll set these to the side, and then let me get my two originals. Okay. And then we have our simpler cards. So if you do need a card that's, you know, more either neutral or on the masculine side, I think that you could do like an unexpected color combo like Granny Apple Green with something striped, you know, not too intense. And then you just have that little indicator of the heart there. This is an anniversary card in this particular case, right? But you could choose whichever, you know, you wanted. And then for our last one, we featured that Sale-a-Bration paper, the So Marvelous designer series paper. And this one we did for a wedding day, okay, with the blushing bride and the white. I should have done one in the marble and I should have done one in the satin so you guys could have seen both, but that's okay. And so we have wedding, we have anniversary, we have Valentine greetings. And remember, with Valentine greetings, we didn't put any particular sentiment on the inside. So this can be a Valentine for anyone that you want. And then of course you have these little fun, kind of like, I don't want to say a secret pocket, but just a little pocket area for a nice little surprise for somebody who might not be expecting it. If you have any questions at all about the Sale-a-Bration brochure, the new catalog, if you have any questions about the starter kit, be sure to let me know. I'm going to get a blog posted today of this class. My ordering special with the host code is going to be good for 7 days. So for 1 week, and then it will end on either the 10th or the 11th. I'll have to check my calendar, but I'll have all of the information listed for all of you if you have any questions. So if you spend $50 or more with me using that host code, you'll get these card kits. You'll get 4 cards. And then you'll also get a free little thing from me, a little gift from me, and you'll get that Sale-a-Bration reward too. So any questions, just let me know. But again, you can find my blog at stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. And my next class will be January 18th. So be sure to get signed up for my email list if you are not already on it. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Enjoy catalog launch day. Have so much fun shopping, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.